Hi, everybody. This is your girl, Crystal, and welcome to today's Focus for Crystal. And I am interviewing Jennifer Haynes today, and she is a cannabis business owner in the DMV and DC particularly. So she's going to just go over some things about, her business, how you guys can support, um, and go from there. I just lost her. Where'd she go? so, yes. 1 second, guys. All right. So she should be joining us back in a second. This is live. This is what you get when it's live. You get live action. So I wanted to interview her today because a lot of people are thinking about getting into the cannabis industry. Some people want to know the do's and don'ts to do to start their cannabis business. So Jen is going to give us some insight on how to start a cannabis business, how to get involved, and how mainly you can support her cannabis business. So there is Jen. So Jen, tell
Hi
people
guys.
yourself.
Hi. So if you're interested in starting a legal cannabis business in DC, our branding and marketing company called the Portal Agency will actually assist you in getting all of your legal licensure, your branding, your marketing, your website, SEO, outside marketing campaigns, as well as networking with local dispensaries to get product placement. So that's what we specialize in. We also own a product company called the Townhouse Uptown, which was our first endeavor, and therefore we learned how to do all these wonderful things and now want to share them with you.
That's awesome. So, what was some of the difficulties that you faced when opening your cannabis business?
Honestly, in the very beginning, my background is not cannabis. I actually didn't even start smoking until year two of my business. I left a corporate finance job and I saw that the industry was booming, and I started using CBD for depression and anxiety because I had a very high profile job. And when the industry opened, I thought, well, what a better way to, get into something else and help people at the same time. So I started in the industry because I really wanted to help people, especially those that have long-term illnesses, cancer clients, people like that who are really in need, veterans with PTSD. So we actually started the company based on helping others, with alternative medications versus opioids.
So, how does people get involved into cannabis if they want to start? So, what tips would you give somebody who's trying to launch into the cannabis business? I know you said one thing that you guys do is you promote cannabis business. So, what type of things do you promote in that area?
The type of businesses that we have currently signed up are infused drink brands, multitudes of growers across the country that grow a variety from Delta 8 to CBD to high end boutique THC. We can basically help any brand, as our first baby and the birth of the Townhouse Uptown was a product and branding company that was completely farm to table. So we can help you get your license to grow. We can help you get a license to sell your product in local dispensaries, whether that's Colorado, Maryland, Las Vegas, etc. So we have different people in our fields all over the country, and we actually meet you and match you with a consultant that can help you get your local licensure depending on where you're located.
Okay, cool. So I know that you just don't promote cannabis business because I'm one of the business that you promote with my wig hats. So what other businesses outside of cannabis do you support?
So currently on our portal agency, we specialize in cannabis businesses, but we also specialize in entrepreneurs. So let's say you have an idea of a product, we can sit down with you, tell you what it's going to cost to execute your product, find you a manufacturer, find you a sales force, find you client base, etc. Our idea is, if you're an entrepreneur, we want to help foster your growth, and all the same mechanisms that we use to provide online advertisement for cannabis, we can use for online entrepreneurship. For example, your hat wigs that you make. It's a brilliant idea. They're a customized specialty that you don't see anywhere else. So obviously reach and finding your specific customer base is ideal for you to succeed. So we will actually go behind the scenes and pull and see who would necessarily use your product, and then we would target that exact audience for your specific product. So we help, I mean, we have multitudes of companies. We have a website company that we help. Not only do they help us with our programming, but we also help them get new clients. We work with an insurance company. We work with a branding company. Who else do we work with? We have, I mean, like, there's all sorts of products. There's a lady on our website that does gourmet popcorn. It's not infused. It doesn't have any cannabis whatsoever. But because it's an edible product, we were able to add it to the marketplace, and it became in high demand. Um, it's basically the same format for cannabis branding as the same format for entrepreneurs. It's just finding a way to get your product out there and finding the people who desire to use it.
That's amazing. So right here is one of the pictures from your product line. Could you tell us a little bit about what we're looking at?
Sure. We have a topical line called Infusius, and it is all organic. We have bath bombs, bath salts, body scrubs, um, pain cream, which is our number one seller amongst anything on our website. Um, we also sell hemp leaves that are actually procured from the marijuana plant. And all of these different products come in various forms. They come in Delta 8, CBD, THC, and 1-to-1. So we have something for everybody.
So I know I tried your pain cream before, and it definitely did work. And it was like I was putting that thing on everything. I woke up one. I was like, oh, I just got a massage, and it just was an excellent product, and it actually did work and helped to ease the pain, and even got rid of it. So it was a really good source to use. So if somebody wanted to order, how could they purchase?
They can go on the townhouseuptown.com and they can search at the top of the search bar for the specific product, or they can click the drop down menu to topicals and see the variety that we offer. We also give a free sample of pain cream to every single order that comes through our website.
Wow. Okay. So let me just pull up your website really quick so they can see what that looks like. All right. So if you want to go through, you can go through your website. I'll click on it so people can see exactly.
Sure. So when you first go to the website, we give 2 free grams out with the first order for all new clients. It also, it allows you to try something new that maybe you haven't been able to afford to buy, or, that you've wanted to try but necessarily not want to buy, not necessarily purchased. So we introduce our different brands that we represent on the portal side on the Townhouse Uptown marketplace, and that allows them to get extra exposure too.
So this is also a platform that you use to advertise other people on your website as well.
We currently have 52 different entrepreneurs that are represented on our website. So the portal agency actually helps with the branding and marketing, and then we provide you an actual platform that has proven driven results and can show you how many people click on what product, how long they view it, how many people bought a specific type of product. We can help you with your total, Google optimization, everything. But we allow you to have a marketplace on the Townhouse Uptown so everyone can see your products. And then once a week, we feature a vendor, either new or existing, on the main page, and we give them our, front page advertising.
That's awesome. So about the DC Growers Cup.
Yes,
how
ma'am.
are you a part of that?
So I'm on the founding board of the DC Growers Cup. This year, on May 25th, we will be celebrating 10 years. It's a local grassroots organization that specializes in helping the local product company as well as the local grower learn, network, compete for different prizes. It's a fantastic network to be a part of. The gentlemen who run it are absolute jewels, and they really want to make a difference in the culture of cannabis in DC, as a lot of that has died off with all the stores, etc. We've kind of lost touch with the culture here in DC that we had when it first became legal, and we want to bring that community aspect back. So we're welcoming any new product producers as well as growers to join and participate. You also receive a free vendor table when you sign up to participate as a consultant or a contestant.
Okay, so people can actually win prizes.
Yeah, you actually win 2 free months of marketing through the portal agency. You win a It's like a trophy. It's like a standalone trophy. It has your name on it, what you've won, which category you participated in, etc. There's a first, second, and third place that'll be awarded, and there's only 10 entries per category. So it's a very small knit competition. There are 18 categories that people can compete in, and you can compete in as many categories as you choose.
So what are those categories? Do you mind listing them?
Yeah, sure. They range from the best indica sativa hybrid flowers to best concentrates, overall best concentrate, best vape cart, best edible, best chocolate bar. What are the other ones? Best homemade gummies. There's about 18. I think there's 18 exactly different categories now listed on the site that you can compete with. You can go to dcgrowerscup.com and you can go to industry contestants and just press that, and you can register at any time. It's $125 a category. We'll have multiple brands represented, and so far we have 4 different states that are flying in with professional growers that will be giving critiques as well as grower tips to all the people that participate.
That's amazing. I went one year. I actually interviewed a young lady who won the best edibles.
Sia?
And she won the best edibles. And when I had one, I was like, girl, I see why you won.
Yeah,
I
she's on
see
the
why
board
you
now.
won.
Yeah, she's on the board now, and she will be competing this year, but she's doing a new topical product.
Okay.
She's in the industry full time, and then she actually is affiliated with a company that does manufacturing of edibles and topicals on a national scale, and they're participating as well. It's a great platform to come and meet people in your area that are doing the same things as you. You know, it's always great to learn new techniques and learn about new products that are coming out on the market.
Sounds good. And you said all they need to do is go to dcgrowscup.com or they can contact you via Instagram, correct?
They can contact me via Instagram. They can contact me on either one of the websites, theportal.com or the townhouseuptown.com.
So what's the Instagram again?
The Instagram for the DC Growers Cup is DC Growers Cup. All
And for uptown, downtown, uptown,
the Townhouse Uptown is
townhouse.
it's the Townhouse Uptown with underscores between each word.
Okay, so it's the underscore townhouse underscore uptown
Yes,
on
ma'am.
Instagram.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, sounds good. So we're gonna go into a little quick commercial really quick. And so make sure you guys support her business. Again, you can go on her website, which is the Townhouse Uptown, and purchase and support her and purchase. She has different categories on here. She has bongs, she has grinders, outfits. So if you're looking for those little cute Eminem outfits, the little cereal cartoons, she has all of that on her website. And of course, don't forget about my hat wigs. You can go and get you a nice hat wig. Why have another bad hair day when you can have a nice hat wig? So make
I'm
sure you
ready
do
for
that.
mine, Crystal. I'm ready for you to make me mine.
Yeah, and don't forget about my book, Money in My Garden. If you're interested and you're a reader, go to Amazon.com to purchase my book, Money in My Garden. And we're going to be having a book signing coming up at Pentagon City Mall celebrating Women's History Month. And if you're a business owner and you would like to join our Yelp bus tour, please give me a call, 617-564-1196. And don't forget about our cannabis bus tours coming up in May as well, which we're going to be doing tours at the various dispensaries and all kinds of sorts of fun cannabis stuff that's going to go down this year. All you got to do is send me a DM at The Real Crystal Hughes. Again, that's The Real Crystal Hughes on Instagram. So we're going to get back into the show. So Jennifer, for somebody who wants to like literally just start it from the ground up, because I saw that you was promoting some plants the other day, like in the pot, like starting plants.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that promotion that you were doing.
So we actually have several growers that are located in town, and they're now providing plants as well as clones and seeds. So we did a little promotional push for them. We're doing a special for 120 for the plants and 75 for the clones, and we will deliver them to your door. So if you want to start growing your own flowers and learn how to grow, we can consult you on that as well.
So you actually help people who are interested in growing.
Yes, ma'am. We have several growers on staff that will actually give consultations. Yes, ma'am.
So what about the little plants? So because I was like, okay, I can give me a plant. Can you put other, okay, so when you growing marijuana, okay, can you mix seeds? Say if I want to grow some corn or something. Can I put
No.
some corn in the pot? I'm just trying to be economical. It has to have its own pot.
Yes, and you have to have certain lights, and you have to feed it a certain pH balance of water, and it has to have certain nutrients. It is a lovely cared for plant if you do it inside grow. If you do an outdoor grow, the sun helps with a lot of that. But most of the people that grow do indoor grow because you have a little bit more control, and the flowers usually end up a lot more less larvae due to the elements. So you get prettier weed when you generate its own environment, basically.
So question, how much can one plant produce?
It depends on how much you love it. It depends on the genetics of the strain. Some strains you can get a pound or two off of one seed. Some of them you'll get 3 or 4 ounces. It's all depending on the genetics of the seed. So if you're going to grow, you definitely want to start with great genetics. I personally locally source my seeds through a company called DC Exotic Seed Exchange. And it's locally owned by a local grower, as well as I get seeds from Neptune and Emerald and all the other cup winners, as I'm interested to grow those strains and bring those to DC.
So do you have to put a female and a male seed together, or do
No,
you separate them?
you don't want to do that because then you're going to end up with all CBD. It's only female plants that produce the flowers. The And it's also depending on the time in which you crop. So it's very specific to the genetics that you buy. It's very difficult to just throw some seeds in the ground and think you're going to have a pound of weed. It doesn't work like that. You have to love the plant like you love anything else. You have to feed it the right water, the right nutrition. It's extremely important. And environment and lighting is key. So the better lights you have, the better grow you're going to have. The better nutrition, it's all in what you put in it. It's just like your body. If you feed your body crap, you're going to feel awful. If you feed your body good food, you're going to grow and you're going to feel wonderful. So it's no different than our bodies. These plants are the exact same way.
Awesome. So how much does one of those small plants cost? The little pot that
They're
I saw.
120. They're 120.
$120.
Yes, and they come with an hour of setup consultation. So we'll tell you what type of light to buy, when to repot it, everything.
So it has to so once it grows a little bit, it needs to be put in a bigger pot, is what you're saying.
Correct. It's like a tree if you think about it.
So it grows tall, because I remember I went to this guy's house back in my days, and he was like, "Let me show you something," and I was like, "What you want to show me?" And he opened this room, and it was plants as tall as me, and it was looking like they was all bright and pretty. I was like, "You got weed in your house," and this is before weed was legal, of course. So I was so shocked to see that the plants was so tall, and it was so many, and it was like a little closet, and he had the lights and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Then I met this other guy, and he had a whole basement, and he just had little it was like little what I want to say, kind of like those little dressing rooms portable dressing rooms, and each plant was in these portable dressing room, and he had a setup they had their own room and with a big pot, and these plants are just growing.
I've had 8-foot plants in my basement. I've also seen 30 feet plants in Colorado and California.
I did not know marijuana grew that tall. I did not.
Girl, they use ladders sometimes to trim these trees.
Really?
Yes, I'll have to send you some pictures.
You
one of our neighbors in California had a 30-foot plant.
And so when it sprouts, the bud on the tree is, because I remember he picked it off and then he said, "You got to clean it." I said, "Clean it? Why you can't smoke the whole thing?" He was like, No, you got to clean it and then you got to let it dry." I said, "Dry and clean? Why can't we just roll it right off the tree?" He was like, "It don't work that way." So how does that work?
But it's going to be too sticky. You have to cure it because the curing process is just like the genetic process. The curing process has to be done correctly, and commercial and professional growers research their strains to know when flowering is over, when flowering is starting. They research every single little piece of their strain so they can get the most abundance out of the grow. I've had a grow in a basement that literally people came in right before I chopped down, and it looked like they were in a field in California. They did the whole photo shoots and everything right before we cut down. But if you can manipulate the environment to be successful, that's wonderful. But in my opinion, the best flowers that are out there are sun grown. You can only manipulate your natural environment so much. I mean, God created the sun, and obviously everything that the sun is touching, it will grow. All plants need light, and they really need the sun. So the best flowers I've ever smoked in my life, and I have smoked thousands of strains, were Chem Dog Willie Nelson, outdoor grown. I smoked it in Colorado. I took 2 hits off of a pre-roll. The bus came by and the bus left, and I never got on the bus. And my business partner walked up to me and he was like, "What, you're not going to get on the bus?" I was like, "I didn't even realize the bus came." So, that's some sun grown right there.
That's amazing. So what's the difference between sativa and indica? Because when I first started to get in the medical cannabis industry, like where you actually can start to learn, that's kind of when I started to learn about weed. When I was growing up, I was just smoking whatever I can get. You know what I'm saying? It looked like lime, I got it. I'm like, that thing glowing. You know what I'm saying? I tried to hit that. That's because back then some of it been so pretty. I ain't even want to smoke it. I said, good Lord, this plant, this bud is beautiful. So how do you differentiate? Like, what's the difference between indica and sativa? And then do female plants produce both?
Yes, female plants produce both. The difference is a sativa means that it's going to give you some energy. I try to refer it as it's like a cup of coffee. So it puts you in a focused mood. A hybrid is a good high, but doesn't really mess with your head too much. And then an indica is a heavy indica is usually something that is great for pain or sleeping. For instance, I smoked this new strain called Sneakers last night. And for about 2 hours while I was watching the People's Choice Awards, which unfortunately was extremely boring. I know it was boring because I fell asleep. And so it gave me this euphoric state. And then I was knocked out. I got some great sleep. I really needed it, because as entrepreneurs, Crystal, we work extremely, hard. And sometimes things are extremely difficult because we have time crunches and deadlines and things like that. So when I like to relax, I like to smoke a heavy indica. Also, if you have anxiety, hybrid leaning indicas are great because they help lower the anxiety, but they don't knock you out.
So I remember when COVID happened, I had just stopped smoking. This is the first time I stopped smoking a few times. And I have my reasons. But my boyfriend at the time, he was still smoking weed. And like he wasn't smoking when I met him. He started smoking with me. And then I had stopped smoking, but he kept smoking. And COVID happened. And I'm tossing and turning all night. And I look over at him, he's sound asleep. And I said, you know what? Something ain't right. What's going on here? Why am I tossing and turning? And he's still up. And so one day I was like, you know what? Give me that daggone blunt. And I had the best sleep ever when I smoked that weed. And I said, you know what? I'm about to start back smoking because this COVID situation is totally like the most. And this is at the peak of it, like when it first began. And I just was like, we was trying to run from it. We went down North Carolina. There was nowhere to run. And I just was like, I cannot sleep. This stuff is driving me crazy. I'm dreaming about COVID. I just want to go to sleep. So smoke me some weed. And I just kept smoking after that. But I recently just stopped back smoking again, but it's kind of like now it's like I'm kind of like feeling like maybe I want to start back, but I want to be more educated on what I'm smoking because like you said, as an entrepreneur, we have anxiety sometimes because we have so many deadlines, we got stuff to do, and sometimes we up late and sometimes we up and you're not getting enough sleep. And so you need to get the appropriate sleep. And sometimes I know for sure that cannabis help you with sleep. And so I'm like, okay, so what do I need? Because I don't want to have something to have me too sleepy that I can't wake up in the morning, but I don't want to have something that has me up and I can't go to sleep.
So what you do is call the Townhouse Uptown. and you ask them for a consultation, and they will go through their menu based on what you're suffering from, and they'll place you with the correct strain.
You said go where?
If you call the Townhouse Uptown, one of
Okay.
the staff will actually go through what you're suffering with and give you a consultation, and then refer you to the strains that we have available that will help conquer whatever you're struggling with.
Well, that's nice because what dispensaries and cannabis businesses are like supposed to be doing, instead of you just going in and say, let me get an ounce, let me get a 1 point, let me get a fifth.
It's meant to share with people. It's meant to educate people. And, going into some of these dispensaries, even the workers don't understand what all the different strains do, or, how they affect you, or the different products. Education is absolutely key when consuming something in your body. I mean, would you take a pill that you didn't ask your doctor about?
Right. Or
And
read the side effects.
correct.
I agree. So I really think this is a great opportunity for people to get involved. I think the DC Grow Cup is a very great opportunity because it gives people a chance to showcase their skills. It gives people a chance to promote their business and at the same time get awarded for what they're doing, because for so many years people had a bad rap on cannabis. It was like, you smoke cannabis, it's like, ew. And even like my mom, she's in the government, she's all my life. Like even my grandmother, like I used to be like, if my grandma just would have smoked some weed, she'd probably still be here because she had lost her appetite. And I said, Grandma, you need to smoke some weed. And she said, I ain't smoking no weed. And even my grandmother now, she has some pain. And I'm like, Grandma, you need to get some cannabis. I ain't smoking that stuff. I said, well, Grandma, you don't have to smoke it. You can just get some ointment. You can get some, I can bring you a nice brownie, a nice cookie.
Exactly.
But they're still in that mindset, nah, I'm afraid, I'm not doing it. It's bad. So it's hard to get them to kind of like do alternative medication, but they're complaining about all the medication side effects that they're getting from the chemical medication, but you don't want to try anything natural. And the most naturalist thing is pretty much cannabis, because I don't honestly think, especially people who are homegrown, that they're spraying a lot of chemicals and products on their cannabis. So could you talk about that part, about the fertilization, the chemicals that may be applied or not applied?
So with the growers that we host on our website, we require them to get testing for heavy metals, CBD, THC content, etc. And that holds everybody to a standard to understand what is in the flowers and how are they grown. We have a certain standard as far as testing. If your product doesn't meet that, we're not just going to cut you off. We're going to teach you how to make your product compliant. And we're going to teach you how to use alternatives other than bud hardeners and things like that with PHOs that you do not want whatsoever consuming in your body because it's toxic. There are so many different companies that provide, alternative organic solutions, for your grow, for curing, for breeding, etc. It's just understanding and getting to know those products. There are a couple great smoke shops in town that provide consulting for that. That, you can go in and talk to them about, how do I, grow the best flowers, or, how do I get the best, crop, and not even the sense of the amount, but how do you get it to look beautiful? How do you get it to, be a high THC strain or a high CBD strain? All of that is just, it's a wonderful marriage when you can have a consultant with somebody who's a professional grower, especially a professional organic grower, because they can teach you how to go about doing the things and using the ways and tools that they use.
Wow. So, so another way people can get involved is supporting your business in reference to purchasing cannabis. You guys offer delivery services, right?
And nationwide shipping.
Nationwide shipping and delivery. So how often, like how long does it take for, say if I'm in Maryland, if I'm in DC? So what is the same day shipping?
It's 2-hour delivery if you live within an hour of DC.
Okay, that's not bad.
Travel every week to Lynchburg, Delaware, New York, West Virginia. So, we're happy to get you on the route if you want door-to-door delivery. If you'd like shipping, we do that as well. We have a lot of people who order birthday gifts for their friends and we drop ship it for them. Or, like you were saying with the elderly folks, a lot of people order the ointment because once you rub it on someone, whether they're open to cannabis or not, they get that instant relief. They're hooked. I mean, I have a client of mine who is absolutely against it. And I decided that I was going to rub her feet with it because she has a lot of edema from being a diabetic. And she was like, girl, my feet feel so good. Like I have so much tension relief because it's anti-inflammatory. And
Mm.
I need to get this every week from you. And I was like, you do know it has cannabis in it. She was like, I don't care. So it's breaking the cycle of saying that it's bad for you to understanding that it can actually help you. And that's where a lot of the free samples come in, because if it's free, you're going to be more likely to try it. If you have somebody who you love that's endorsing the product or have used the product in the past, as you know, in being an entrepreneur, word of mouth is everything. So, I mean, getting these people the access to their products, that whether they're open to it or not, at least if they have a free sample, they'll be able to try it.
Okay. So, one thing that you said that you do is that you give free samples when people purchase. Is there a certain amount that they have to purchase in order to get that free sample, or
No.
how does
So,
that
for
work?
instance, any order on the Townhouse Uptown comes with a free sample of pain cream. Any order over 150, if you're a first-time client, you get 2 grams of your choice for free. It just depends on how you were referred. For instance, Crystal, anybody that you've referred me, I pay you commission. So we prefer client referrals, and we have thrived over the last 7 years on client referrals. We want to serve your grandma and your mom and your sister and your brother-in-law and a lot of kids. We have a lot of people that say, listen, my daughter or son are grown now and they want to smoke. Can they come to you? Because we trust you. We trust your product. You've been around a long time. And we're like, yes, absolutely. Where your products come when you go to Townhouse Uptown. You can come and meet the growers once a year when they come into town, and you can meet the people that are growing and creating the products that you're consuming on a daily basis.
Wow. That's amazing. So what made you want to do the free so is it like something that they can pick, or is something that is chosen?
No, the free sample
Um
is always pain cream because it is the number one product that's sold on our website. And so we want everybody to be able to access that at least one time to be able to see if it does help with their pain, because everybody's suffering from something, right?
yes, absolutely,
Joint pain,
especially in today.
arthritis, you've got a bum knee, you got a bum ankle, it helps on a daily basis. I actually have a lady that buys a case every week for her, or every month for her personal use, because she is not going to be without it because she has rheumatoid arthritis, and it's what helps
Right.
her get out.
So, how many success stories? I know you say you have a lot of reviews. Where can people look for your reviews?
So you can look at them if you go on Google and you just put the Townhouse Uptown in. We have over 4,500 Google reviews. We also have over 1,000 reviews on our website on the exact product. So if you go to like the pain cream, I think there's like 15 reviews now. You can also go on Instagram, the Townhouse Uptown. You can see all of our reviews there and our accolades, as well as you can go to eater.com. We were actually voted top 5 bars in DC when we founded our consumption lounge in 2017, and we won the award in 2020. There are multiple reviews on that site as well. You basically cannot go on the internet and put in the Townhouse Uptown without finding some review or someone who has said something about a product. We encourage everyone who purchases to leave us a review somewhere.
So so she, like she said, she encourages everyone to leave a review on the products that you guys receive from her business. Again, that is the the Townhouse Uptown. I don't know why I keep getting that backwards. The Townhouse Uptown. So it was a townhouse that was uptown. So you said you was one of the first people that did what again in the cannabis industry in the DMV? Can you hear me? So Jennifer here was one of the first people who launched the first consumption lounge in the nation's capital in 2017. And then in 2019, the Townhouse Uptown founded the first euphoric herb bar featuring mushrooms, cannabis, and other natural herbs. In 2020, the Portal Agency and the National Capital First Cannabis branding and marketing
Hey,
company.
Crystal, I think we're having some technical difficulties. I can't hear you.
Oh, okay, let's see. Okay, I'm gonna try to bring you back in. How about now? Can you hear me now? How about now? How about now? Is it working now?
Now I can hear you. Yes, we're back.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what happened. And now, all right, so I'm back. I don't know what happened. We had some technical difficulties.
A little short commercial break.
Yes, a quick little detour, okay? But again, so if you guys want to participate in the DC Cannabis Growers Cup, make sure you check out dcgrowerscup.com. And if you want to promote your cannabis business, not only if you can promote them with Jennifer at the Townhouse Uptown, but you can also promote in the Cannabis Medical Resource Magazine hosted by your girl. So if you saw our cannabis magazine, you will see that the DC Growers Cup is featured on the front cover. So we're excited to be a part of the media program for that. And Jennifer have a lot of different upcoming events that you can also vend at. So make sure you stay in touch with her. And if you want to advertise on today's Focus with Crystal, just call 617-564-1196. It is live. So therefore, make sure let's get through all the technical issues and keep it moving. So I'm glad you joined us today, Jennifer. Again, tell the people how they can support you, reach you, and your Instagram.
Sure. You can reach us on Instagram at thetownhouseuptown.com with the underscore in between each word. You can also reach us on the website, which is thetownhouseuptown.com. You can also text us or call us at 202-839-0340. If you need help with cannabis marketing and branding, you can hit us at theportalagency.com. We're happy to assist you with any of your cannabis needs or marketing needs.
So that's the portableagency.com for those who want to advertise. And if you guys want to get
Portal Agency.
Yes, the Portal Agency. And if you guys just need some cannabis, then all you gotta do again is give her a call and she will hook you up.
And don't forget your hat wig.
And don't forget my hat wig. So make sure if you don't have no more bad hair day, ladies, get the hat wigs. You can purchase them on her site, or you can go onto Instagram at custom_hat ponytails. And you can also reach me, your girl, on Instagram at the Real Crystal Hughes. Again, that's the Real Crystal Hughes. Thank you guys for tuning in today. Sorry about the technical difficulties, and thanks for staying on and learning more about how you can promote your cannabis business and also support Jennifer and buying some cannabis right here in the DMV. Thank you, Jennifer. Talk to you later.
Welcome. Thank you for the honor of interviewing us today and giving us a shout out. We greatly appreciate you, Crystal, and we appreciate all you do for our community.
Thank you so much. Talk to you soon.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. That was cool. That was awesome. Okay, now I gotta go do mommy stuff.